Hey there! In this tutorial we're going to talk about a couple features not yet covered about the Midi node. Those features are things like recording MIDI tracks, exporting MIDI tracks, importing MIDI tracks, and editing MIDI tracks manually. Let's start off by making a really simple synthesizer by taking a MIDI node, putting that through a sine wave, and putting that into the output. I'm going to make sure these guys are checked. One thing I wanted to tell you guys too, I just recently added a feature to the MIDI node where you can use your QWERTY keyboard as instead of the MIDI controller. That is, you can use your QWERTY keyboard as a musical device. And how you set that up is with the MIDI node, down at the bottom, there's a bunch of parameters for what note to play for when what keys are pressed. It just has like a default spread, and it goes lowest to highest notes, left to right, and top to bottom. So in the upper left corner is the lowest notes, and in the lower right corner is the highest notes. So yeah, you can't see what I'm doing, but if I press play, I can just type on my keyboard and it'll make noise. There you go. So yeah, MIDI controller is still better because QWERTY keyboards are kind of crappy for input devices, in that if you press multiple keys, it doesn't always get them, and things like that. You can read about that kind of stuff online. Anyhow, let's go over some of the features. The first one is the mode dropdown. We've normally always done just play. Let's click record new track. Notice we have no tracks right now. We're going to record a new one. So go ahead and start that up, and then I'm going to make just a dumb little tune. There you go, that's all. And now under the track list, you can see that it says track 1. So we've recorded a track. So we can select that and hit playback recording if we want to hear it. Let's hear it. There you go, there it was. If you record multiple tracks, they'll be under here and you can check them out. Let's check out the buttons next. Okay, so let's start off with rename current track. If you click that, it asks you for the name. You can type, call it my track. And you can see in the list it changed its name. Now let's click export. And let's save that to the desktop, my track. Next up, you can click delete current track, and you see it goes away. And then you can click import a track. Select the one we just exported, and there it is back again. So let's hear it just to make sure that it's still our track. We make sure we have playback recording on my track. Yep, same thing. Okay, so we can actually, now that we have that track exported, we can import it into other audio programs. So let's open one up. Let's open up Snowy Piano. Okay, so here under the MIDI node, let's hit import a track. Go to the desktop, or wherever you saved it, open it up. And now you can see it's right under here. So let's play it back and hear what that sounds like. There it was. Pretty easy. Okay, last thing I wanted to show you was the format of the file itself. So let's open that up. Okay, so here it is. Not that much to it. It's plain text, just a text file. You can read it. Each line, you'll notice there's several lines, and each line has 4 fields to it. The first field, this right here, is the time in seconds for the event. So this is at approximately 3/4 of a second after you press play, it does this event. Next up, there's either a plus or a minus. The plus means a key press. A minus means key release. Then next is the note. This is note 36. I forget what that translates to, but I'll put something on the page. Basically, uh, lower notes are lower pitched, higher notes are higher pitched. But yeah, again, I'll put the translation table on the website so you guys can see what notes correspond to what numbers. And then the last field here is the velocity of the key presser, how hard you press the key. Since I was using the QWERTY keyboard, they're all 1.0, but if I was using my Midi controller, they would have been different numbers. And the reason for that is just because the QWERTY keyboard, you only know if a key's pressed or not. You don't know how hard, but with the Midi controller, you do know how hard. So anyways, that's the file format. There's just one line right after the other, and they're sorted by time. So you can edit these numbers yourself and like fix up the timing of your playback and all that stuff, or change what note was playing, or how hard it was pressed. You can also, if you're a programmer, you can make a program to spit out these text files and be able to import them into Sound Sorcerer and play your tunes. But yeah, that's about it. That's it for the MIDI nodes. And yeah, thanks for watching.